Hello once again everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 15. Now in our last episode we were messing about with animals, not in that way, and pretty much moving things about. We were just up here selling some various things, weren't we? Yes, that's right. So as you can see, all this stuff is still streaming across the top of my screen. Woohoo! Yes, it's because there's just so many things. So many things. What we need to do, of course, is because we have chickens, we need to plant some corn. I don't actually have any. I don't actually have any kind of equipment for corn yet, so that'll be fairly interesting. I think it's just a regular planter. I think it is anyway. So you see, that's all wheat. I don't think we have any corn on this map that we can just harvest and use. I think we actually have to plant it and wait for it to grow and everything. We got to do the whole thing. And it's actually quite funny. You know, this is our 12th episode and we still haven't actually got to actually sowing our own crops. I think that's quite interesting. Because yes, we definitely need some corn. I mean, we've just been running on the normal the stuff we had at the start. So let's have a quick look and see how our eggs are doing. There's plenty of stuff over there. How are we doing? Not too bad. Not too bad, actually. Stuff could do with a bit of topping up, but don't need to do that just yet. Let's have a quick look in our garage and see exactly what we have. So obviously we have the harvester, that's good. We don't have a header for corn. I'm not seeing any kind of planting machines or cultivators or plows or anything like that. Because yes, we haven't needed it. We haven't needed it. So yeah, we're going to have to buy some stuff, aren't we? So headers. I did just click that. There we go. There we go. So it's this one, isn't it? Yeah, it's 4.5 meters. Might as well go for the big one, eh? Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeed, that's 9 meters. Lovely. Yeah, we'll get that one. We'll get that one. And of course, that means that we have to get our harvester over to the shop to actually pick it up. Then what we need is the sewing machine. I don't know why they call them sewing machines. I mean, I know you sow seeds, but it sounds as if you're doing clothes. So that one doesn't do corn, as you can see. That one's potatoes. It's quite a big potato one. Yeah, that one does corn. It's a 6 meter working width. That one obviously doesn't do what we need. That one does. That one does what we're after. And that's a 9 meter working width. Was this one over here 6? Yes, yes it was. So that's our favourite so far. Those are the ones from the gold expansion. So yes, we'll just go with this one. There we go. So, let's see. Do we need anything else just now? I can't remember if we have any fertilizer sprayers. Don't think so. No, we don't. You know, I didn't think we did. Wrong buttons. So, sprayers. Select that category. We're not going to bother with the front tank. We'll just go for this. Buy that one. Okay. So, let's come out of that. Grab a tractor. Is that the only tractor? Yeah. Oh, well. Should we leave this one down here? Or should we leave the other one up there? No. We'll leave that there, and we'll send this guy over to get the important stuff. Yes, now I can't remember whether I did it on camera or not, but I think Field 18 there we've leased it. So if we just have a quick look at the Bank of Hague instead, I can still drive while opening that. Anyway, yes, number 18 is leased. So if we look at 18, we've still got 60 days. That is a lot of time for how much we leased it for. Less than £3,000. We've got 60 days use out of this. It's that button. 60 days use out of that field. Brilliant. Could do 19 as well, but we won't. We're not going to need that much corn. Not really. I mean, Farming Sim 15 is going to come out soon. Less than a month, I think. It'll definitely be out by the end of October, at least, I think. Pretty sure that's the date they were quoting. So, yeah, we're not going to be around for too much longer here. I mean, we'll come back because this has all our mods, of course. It's got all the mods, you can't forget those. Yeah, but we'll certainly hit 17 pretty hard. So plans for the future in this game include obviously sowing corn, but because we have helpers and because those fields are very nicely rectangular, we don't actually have to hang around for that. All we've got to do is just get the worker going, and then we can bugger off and do something else. Which in this case would be collecting compost and using it in the greenhouses over at the other side of the map. Because we've got all that compost. We've just got to shift it now. So yes, in theory, whoa. So this should be enough stuff now. Though I don't know how he can drive because you can't see anything through that. But yes, this ought to be enough now to actually get our corn on the go. So just got to get it down and then fill these things. So keep driving. Oh yes, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've spent any significant amount of time in this. See, the trouble with doing a Let's Play series is that you can't play it if you're not recording. You know, you really can't. You've got to do it all on camera. And being on camera takes time. It takes a little bit of time to set up, but not too much. But you know, you've got to make sure that you have a nice big block of time that you can set aside. You can't just pick it up and put it down whenever you like. That's one of the reasons why I don't like multiplayer. So if you start multiplayer and then something happens, you're just going to have to abandon the game, and then you annoy the people you're playing with and your stats are affected. So yeah, I don't like that. Also, I hate the idea that people are relying on me. You know, I've always hated team games. I have. It's not that I'm not a team player, but when it comes to sport, I don't like the idea of letting people down. That's what it is. So we should have silos over here somewhere. Where are those silos? We should have silos full of fuel and... oh, they're at the other bloody side of the map, aren't they? Drove right past them when we came in. Oh dear. See, I don't like the idea that I'm letting people down by my poor athletic performance or lack of skill in video games. I mean, it's fine in a single player, it can be quite funny, But still. Now I much prefer individual sports too. So, cycling, stuff like that, canoeing. Much prefer those. Where it's more of an individual effort. So, this over here is gas. That's water. So that's fertilizer. So if we switch to that and refill that while we're here. I mean, I have a factory which will produce fertilizer and seeds and fuel. But yeah, I haven't placed it yet. I probably will at some point in the future. And find a decent place to put it, plonk it down, start feeding it the stuff it needs, especially when all these cows and chickens and whatever other animals we end up buying start producing manure in large quantities. We certainly need to find something to do with those. Now, when it comes to this game, I've definitely noticed that it produces liquid manure in far greater quantities than solid manure. And when it comes to producing fertilizer, you need... It's not the right ratio. So I dump that there. Hopefully that won't fall down the hill. So these should... You know, these are pretty big fields. I mean, if you look at the original map, these would have been... These are certainly bigger than the fields you start with. So, let's pop him here. He's on corn. So, look, there's plenty of room around the side of the field, so we're not going to get any issues there. Let's just hire a worker, set him off. And there we go. There we go. Awesome. Yes, we will need to fertilise it, but that's fine. We can let him go and do his thing now. Yeah, we've got this one over here. Don't really need to do anything with him at the moment. Not that going on. But what we need is... yeah, I do need one of those, though. I need one of those, and I need a thingy there. Right. I need a tractor. This guy's not doing anything. And he's going to go past the shop on the way. So, what we need to do is we need to pick up... we need to pick up the trailer that I bought previously. I don't know whether I did that on camera. See, that's the trouble. It's been so long, I can't actually remember what I did on camera at the end of the last episode or not. But yes, at some point, I bought a... I don't really know what to call them. They're trailers. They hold like grass and straw and compost and manure and stuff. And they're not the grain trailers, they're the forage trailers. I don't know what to call them. I don't know what to call them. But anyway, we have one of these. There's another piece of equipment we need for what I have in mind. So park up there, that's it. Now it comes from my mods. It's it should be under MISC actually. Yes, there we go. It's a conveyor which you stick. Let's make it black. Oh, crap. No, that was grey. Oh well, never mind. It's not really doesn't really make much difference. So yeah, it's just a great big conveyor you can attach to the front of the tractor. Just drive up to a pile of stuff in a silo. As long as you extend the conveyor. See, I can just dump this straight into the trailer. So these things are incredibly useful, especially with the placeable heaps mod, which allows you to dump any kind of bulk material anywhere you like. Anywhere you like. So we'll take this up to the compost plant, and we don't actually need this conveyor up there, but there's a compost bunker, that's the word. There's a compost bunker next to the bagged compost factory thing, And unfortunately that doesn't have any kind of conveyor belt for you to load into a trailer. Now that would normally mean that you'd have to use a front loader with a bucket, but with this thing we don't. All we're going to do is drive up to it, wait a bit, and we'll have a full thing of... Will you stop swinging about? We'll have a full trailer. So yeah, we don't actually need this just yet. All we got to do is drive up to this spout. So yes, we have this telehandler front loader thing. Look at that great big pile of compost. That is awesome. That looks amazing. I'm going to get out and have a look at it. It looks all nice and brown and rich. It looks very nice and deep dark black. So is this actually still running? Because we have a lot of compost in here. So yes, if you remember, we created all of this compost from our spare straw. We had a lot of straw bales that we don't need for feeding our cows. Look, we've still got 9,500 waste, as it says, to convert into compost. So there's a lot there. So what we could of course do is dump it all in this compost bunker over here, and then we'll be able to pick it up. And we'll certainly do some of that, because this thing is full. So yes, we'll just offload it all into that bunker, because we have our conveyor belt, so it doesn't matter really. So yes, we can just go over here. You know what? You can really feel the weight of this now, because that definitely feels a lot heavier than it did. Because this takes 50,000 litres, and we've certainly got 200,000, even more than that. So yeah, just dump it all here, and we can pick it up almost anywhere else on the map. So this will of course take a little bit of time. That's not the button I was after, it's that. So yes, our little harvester. It's not harvester, it's our little corn planter is down there, almost halfway through that field. So yeah, just let him keep working. He's doing his job. He don't seem to be encountering any problems. So awesome. That's right, fill up with a bit more compost. I think while this is happening, we can start to drive the telly loader across, because we need that. We don't need it over here, that is for sure. But we can certainly do with it over at the greenhouses, because that's going to produce a load of pallets that we'll need moving off the spawn points. Because we all know what happens if we use the auto-loading trailer to nab them off the spawn points. Essentially what happens is the mod thinks you haven't taken the pallet. It thinks the pallet is still on the spawn point, and nothing happens until you reload the game. So yeah, we'll avoid that of course by using this to manually remove them. And also it means that we can use that trailer somewhere else until we're ready to collect the pallets. Speaking of which, at some point we'll probably have to have a little look at the cherry pie factory again, make sure that everything is running nicely. Keep going. This is all the way down there. Let's such a huge distance. Right, well, it's probably far enough. So yeah, he's coming on nicely. Look at that. I mean, they always miss a little bit at the end of each row. It's kind of annoying. For the OCD in me, that is really quite annoying. You know, I want to go around and get that, but the yield you miss by not sowing that little tiny patch of land compared to all of this, it's not really much. It's not really much at all. You'd never notice. So yes, we're back here. So we'll get another load of these into the bunker and then fill this up again. Do. So yes, we haven't really done an awful lot of farming in this series, have we? We did a bit of harvesting. We've done quite a bit of baling. A little bit of animal management. That's not a lot relating to crops at all, really. There's just been so much other stuff to do. So that's that done. We'll park this under there, and then we'll continue moving our telehandler to where it needs to be. There should be another 2 loads here, I reckon. So there. Awesome. Awesome, it's just the 2. We're only 2 vehicles away from each other. So that field over there, I think we own that already. Do we? Let's have a quick look. No, we don't. That's 16. We own 15, which is all the way down there. 3, of course, we've harvested. 1 we own, but haven't touched yet. 5 is huge. Now, I did that one in another profile. I mean, it's not far off a quarter of the map, but it's not so bad if you cut it up into segments. If you cut it up into manageable sections, then it's not too bad. But all of that is canola. And my big factory mod, which I still haven't actually shown you properly, have I? I got a big factory which will convert. Well, it'll make fertilizer and seeds, but it'll also make diesel. And obviously, it does that out of the canola. Good old biodiesel. Which means that we can become completely self-sufficient. So this is a manure sell point. I'm sure I've shown you this before in a thing. But this is the compost bunker over here. As you can see, it's got a fair amount of stuff in there. But yeah, there's no little conveyor belt to help you load it. Shame. Well, that's why we got the thing. That's why we've got our own conveyor. So yes, at least this means we won't have to make that massive long trip all the time. You know, we can just dump the stuff in here and then just make the one trip. So that's there. Dump that in. So that's 150,000 litres of compost. That is a lot. So yes, the question is, do we want to just make bags of compost, or do we want to make use it to grow some vegetables? I think we should use it to grow veg. I think we should. As well as some bags of compost, of course. I don't see why not. We might as well. So yes, let's grab. It's probably going to be the last one. Probably going to be the last one. Can I see the thing there? Oh no, no. No, we'll have one full load, and then we might even have enough for another full load. But probably not. I mean, that is close. Actually, yes, we will. We'll have one full load, then we'll have another full load, and then we'll have a teeny tiny bit. It'll probably be less than 1,000 litres, but we'll definitely have it. So, well, maybe not, actually. No. No, we won't. No, my maths was a bit off there. I was off by 10,000 litres. What happens when you're trying to add up two numbers that are changing. See, I got the 1,666. I was just 10,000 out. That's all it was. But hey. We're only 8,500 litres off another full load, so that's quite good going. Quite good going. So this will take us up to 200,000. So almost 250,000 litres. That is just so much. So much. I mean, it's almost a figure you can't really picture. Mark that here. So at least we got a nice easy way of filling this. Because yeah, if we had to use a telehandler and buckets and all the rest of it, we'd be here for ages unloading this. We would. We'd probably give up before it's finished. So how much of this do we actually need to make a pallet of compost? Probably not much. Maybe 5,000 litres, perhaps. Probably not. Probably not that much. So, are we nearly finished? Well, no, we got a little bit more in there since we were waiting. Anyway, 84%. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's certainly worth the trip. So we'll just pick this thing up and we'll be on our way. On our way. So hook up to this. So a quick look at how our dude's doing. Oh, he's finished. Right. So, yes, there we go. So let's plant the other field while we're here. Isn't it great that we didn't actually have to worry about this guy at all? Because the other fields, the strange shaped fields, you do. You do, because they just get stuck. Because one of the other maps I play, it has hedges right up to the edge of the field. So you can't really use the edge of the field at all. You've got to kind of go all the way around the field a couple of times. Just to get the edges done, and then you can set the worker to do the middle. Ah, it's just so annoyingly tedious and fiddly. I mean, nice square fields where there's plenty of room around the edge for manoeuvring. Perfect. Perfect. The workers can handle those. All you got to do is tell them what to do, set them off, job done. And that then leaves you free to go and do some of the more fiddly stuff. You know what, I could go through here, actually. Is that a good idea? Probably not, actually, because we're not going to the fields that we're sowing, are we? If I can just get around the corner here. Reverse a bit more, there we go. Got caught on the gate. So we'll go through there. Then there's a little gap just down the bottom here. Wondered what that was for a minute then. You see, this field is kind of strange because it has this great big electricity pylon in the middle of it. So yeah, you've got to kind of work around it. Just slightly annoying. So yes, we need to be over there. So there's the thing. Well, it's all the way over here. Yeah, this wasn't a good idea. We've ended up going even further than we needed to. But there we go. We live and learn. We live and learn. Look at all these little bits he's left at the edge. At least you did most of it, mate. Saves me having to do it. mean, that's one of the things I liked about Farming Sim 15 over 13, is that it let you hire workers for the fertilizer spreader. Because you couldn't before, and that was really annoying because that was one of the manual jobs you had to do. Admittedly, because the spray on it is so huge, they do tend to they either hit trees a lot, or they leave quite big chunks at the end of each row. But there we are. There we are. I mean, kind of the price you pay for using a worker. Ooh, wiggling about a bit there. So we haven't really passed an awful lot of time in this episode, so there's not going to be too much in the way of... What's the trouble when you come down here? It's kind of well, I say slippery. It's not really the word. It's not really the word. It's not fishtailing. It's not the trailer that's doing it. It'll do it, even when it's unloaded. Anyway, what we can do now, just reverse up to this thing. It probably won't take a full load. So if we just dump that there. No, that's not going to take a full load. No way. No way. No way. Right, so we've got that there. So of course what we can do is we can put some fertilizer in here. Going to have to fill it with water as well, which means we will need the tanker. I mean, we're right next to free water, but we still need to get the tanker over here to do its job. But that's fine. That's fine. So there. So this one is what, tomatoes? Yeah, look like tomatoes to me. Hey, that's fine. I don't mind tomatoes. So we've got 4% left in there. Got some pumpkins there. We can certainly reverse up here and dump this lot here. Oh, went too far. There we go. It's the same button to unload. So let's have a quick look at this. I mean, it is a case of trying to line everything up. That is the problem, especially when it's moderately tight around here. So there, so we need to lower the conveyor. And there we go. Conveyor's not really animating, but we are filling up. We are filling up, so that's lovely. So yes, all you got to do is just drive up to it. Auto loading. That's right, keep going. So I was just thinking that because we've got this thing here, the New Holland here, telehandler, we'll need some sort of forklift guy over at our factory. We do, don't we? So that's not much at all. Pallet fork, there we go. So he's almost finished. So yeah, dump in there, and then there. So we've got red cabbage, we've got lettuce, and then we've got white no, it's like cauliflower, isn't it? Yes, that's what it is. It's cauliflower. He says that's... See, I can't remember what they call it in game. It's definitely red cabbage. See, the trouble is I've got other factories that produce things like tomatoes and cucumber and, and peppers and onions and carrots and all the rest of it. I just forget what does which. I forget what does which. So that can go in there now. That took 65 plus the 4% from the last. No, it left me with 65. That's what it was. Plus we had 1,000 litres in our conveyor belt thing. So this won't fill. Well, you know what I mean. It will. This won't be completely full with this. I'll have to go and refill, but there we are. Fill it with compost. Just fill it all with compost. There we go. Here we go. Let's fill it with a bit more. And then while it's doing that, we'll go and sort out our little JCB skid steer thing. That's it. Line it up. So yeah, the conveyor belt holds 1,000 litres on its own. So I'll dump that down. There we go, that's filling up nicely. That's that one, that's there. We will of course need to get some... We'll need to get the harvester down here to pick that thing up. And then we'll need to have a very slow drive across country. So there we go. So yes, this thing can go over here. While we decide what to do with this lot. So I believe my pallet of pallets is finished, because it doesn't look as if it's doing anything. The little display's not green anyway. Is it out of stuff? Yes it is, it's out of stuff. Well, that's the first thing we can do then, isn't it? There I was lining myself up for this one here, but this one on top of it's not in the right place. Oh well, our thing over here is probably finished, yes. Yes, it is finished. So, lift that up. Let's try and reverse this around here. See, there's so much to do. There's just so much to do in this game. With all the mods, at least. Certainly. So, that's there. Do. Oh, that didn't take an awful lot more, did it? Reverse. Just drive forward a bit now. So what I could have done, and what I should have probably done, is just left the conveyor belt there. I could indeed have just left the conveyor belt in place. I don't need it anywhere else. So I probably could, but sometimes you come back after you've saved and you find that it's moved. So yeah, there we go. For some reason you've got to do that. I don't know why. Anyway, we'll certainly leave that there along with this, because we don't need that anymore. What we do need is the water container. We need you! That's it, reverse. Reverse. So yeah, time is pressing on a bit for this episode, but I don't particularly mind. What I'll do is I'll take this over there. Our cedar is nearly done, so that's good. That's good. We'll take this over here and we'll get ready to actually put some water in our greenhouses and get some vegetables going. Because yes, people do seem to forget about the vegetable farmers, don't they? Certainly do. I mean, they see the cows in the field, they see the sheep, they see the pigs. They see great big fields just full of wheat and corn and canola. But how often do they see, like, cucumbers being grown? Well, I wouldn't know where to look. I definitely think stuff like that's on a much smaller scale. Much smaller scale. I mean, I used to work in the countryside at one point, and right next door was a potato farm. And it was quite funny actually seeing the guy out planting his potatoes, and then later in the season harvesting them. It's quite interesting. It made me wonder what he did with the rest of his time. Whether he had more fields elsewhere. Because, you know, once you've planted them, you don't really do much. I mean, you know, you make sure they're watered and everything, but that doesn't take long, especially if you've got sensors. Yeah, all the work comes with planting and harvesting. And you've got months in between. Anyway, he must have had other fields or some other things to do to occupy his time through the rest of the week, rest of the year. Unless he made enough money. Unless he made enough money from his potato crops that he didn't have to take on like a second job. Oh yeah, look, we're starting to get some bags of compost. But yes, these won't produce anything until we give them water. So here we go. Try and just line this up properly. There we go. Unload. No idea how much water this thing's going to take. More than 10% certainly. It's 15. 20%. 25. 30%. That's a lot. That's 40%. Is it really taking half? It's half my load. It's taken more than half. How'd you get all that water in that tiny little tub thing? Look at that. It's left me with 10,000 litres. I should have reversed down here, shouldn't I? I should still be in just deep enough. Any deeper and it would probably cause me trouble. Oh, this is going to take a while. This is going to take a while. So, yeah, what I'll do is I'll speed this bit up, because we don't need to see all of this, do we? All this back and forth. So, go, go, go. Okay, so that is just about finished. That will take my entire thing. This will be pretty much completely full now. Not quite 100% full. Yeah, 99. That's fine. That's fine. I don't particularly care. So yes, we did have a bit of an issue trying to unload at the red cabbage. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but it wouldn't take my 1,000 litres, so we had to go and refill. But the problem seemed to have sorted itself out, so that's fine. Look at this, we're starting to get pallets already. We haven't done anything with the time. We haven't had to speed up time yet, which is great. We will next episode. We'll get things running nicely. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. Goodbye.